vanachari Yamunatira vanachari Dayora Dhammadava Kunja Vihari Gopiranava Girivaradari Yasodhanandana Vradadanarandana Yamunatira Vanachari Jayora Dhammadhava Kunja Vihari Jayora Dhammadhava Kunja Vihari Jai Om Shnupar Brahmang Suprivraj Kachara Sata Sata Śrīmad Goswami Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Shnupar Brahmang Suprivraj Kachara Sata Sata Śrīmad Goswami Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada Ki Ananda Gauri Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Iskon Financhar Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem se kaho si Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sidveti Gadadhar Shiva Siddhi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Yamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Ki Vrindavan Dama Ki Mathura Dama Ki Jagannath-puri Dama Ki Shri Mayapur Navadvip Dama Ki Gangamaya Namaya Ki Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Srila Prabhupada's Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Chansupasad Distribution Ki Nitai Gaur Pramanandi Sham Veda Bhakta Vrinda Ki all glories Samal devotees, all glories Samal devotees, all glories to Samal devotees, all glories to Sri Sri Guru Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 3rd Canto, 2nd chapter, text number 4. Remembrance of Lord Krishna. Sa muhurtam abhutushnim Sa muhurtam abhutushnim Krishnangri Sudaya Brisham Krishnangri Sudaya Brisham Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Nimagna Sadhu Nirvrita Nirmagna Sadhu Nirvrita Samuhurtam Abhutushnim Krishnangri Sudaya Brisham Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Nimagna Sadhu Nirvrita
Krishna
Ladies, Matajis. Tushnim. Saha Uddhava Muhurtam, for a moment. Abhut became. Tushnim, dead silent. Krishna Angri, the lotus feet of the Lord. Sudhaya, by the nectar. Brisham, well matured. Tivrena, by very strong. Bhakti Yogena, devotional service. Nimagnaha, absorbed in. Sadhu, good. Nirvritaha, fully in love. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. For a moment he remained dead silent, and his body did not move. He became absorbed in the nectar of remembering the Lord's lotus feet in devotional ecstasy, and he appeared to be going increasingly deeper into that ecstasy. Purport. On the inquiry by Vidura about Krishna, Uddhava appeared to be awakened from slumber. He appeared to regret that he had forgotten the lotus feet of the Lord. Thus he again remembered the lotus feet of the Lord and remembered all his transcendental loving service unto him. And by so doing, he felt the same ecstasy that he used to feel in the presence of the Lord. Because the Lord is absolute, there is no difference between his remembrance and his personal presence. Thus Uddhava remained completely silent for a moment, but then he appeared to be going deeper and deeper into ecstasy. Feelings of ecstasy are displayed by highly advanced devotees of the Lord. There are 8 kinds of transcendental changes in the body: tears, shivering of the body, perspiration, restlessness, throbbing, choking of the throat, etc. And all were manifested by Uddhava in the presence of Vidura. Sa muhurtam abhutushnim krishnangri sudaya brisham tivrena bhakti yogena nirmagna sadhu nirvritaha. For a moment he remained dead silent, and his body didn't move. He became absorbed in the nectar of remembering the Lord's lotus feet in devotional ecstasy, and he appeared to be going increasingly deeper into that ecstasy. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadhati Svapadantikam Jayasi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu-Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripadamaham vande Sri Gurudinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyeshwaram Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. So here in this section of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Vidura has approached Uddhava, and he is inquiring about Krishna. For devotees, the only topic that is really interesting is Krishna. Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's mercy, that is what a devotee is interested in. And so, Vidura asked Uddhava about Krishna's pastimes, and Uddhava, he went into ecstasy, so much so that he was unable to speak. Just by remembering Krishna, he went into deeper and deeper states of trance, and it took quite a while for him to get out of that before he could actually answer and reply Vidura's questions. In the purport here, Srila Prabhupada writes that remembering the Lord and being in the personal presence of the Lord are the same. Because Krishna is absolute. Just like you think of Vrindavan, you think of Mayapur, you're there, right? You can go to Govardhan, right? And you think, okay, Dangati, then Anior, okay, Nishingadev, of course, Govinda Kund, Uddhava Kund, Radha Kund. You can do parikram in your mind. So, Krishna is present. He's non-different. Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddha Nitya Mukta Abhinatvam Nama Namino. Abhinatvam. Nama and Nami are the same. So when you're chanting Hare Krishna, you're remembering Krishna. And Krishna is present. He's present. So, Uddhava is a very intimate associate of Krishna. He's not only a cousin brother, but he is so much absorbed in Krishna that when he was a child, he was so absorbed in Krishna that when his mother would call him for breakfast, he would not have it. He's so absorbed in Krishna. Did you ever miss breakfast? No, right? No, you don't want to miss breakfast, right? Because that's a terrible thing for a brahmachari, right? You don't want to miss breakfast. Huh? But Uddhava, he was so absorbed in remembrance of Krishna that he forgot the external world because of his level of absorption. Now, Krishna and Krishna's service, Krishna and Krishna's mission, they're non-different. Sometimes we think, oh yeah, I'm supposed to go out and distribute Prabhupada's books. But what has this to do with meditating on Krishna? In the 10th canto Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, just weeks before Srila Prabhupada's departure, Srila Prabhupada wrote this famous purpose where he says, Kriyasu, by your labor, by your efforts of distributing Krishna consciousness, you will remember Krishna. And Krishna will be very much present in your mind. Because all day long you're speaking about Krishna. People are going to ask you, so what is it? What is it you're trying to give me here? So what are you going to tell them? This is a book. This is, paper and ink and... No, you tell them it's Krishna Katha, it's Krishna Lila, it's Krishna's blessings. Are people interested in blessings? Ashirvat Maharaj? You could have a drive-through temple. You just have, Ihundi and Ashirvat Maharaj, right? No, but that's not what we want. We want people to hear Krishna Katha, but because they're impatient, they're just getting up last minute to catch the train to get to the job. They don't have time to come to temple, right? So, Mandiraga Margagama. We go out of the temple, we go on the street, and we bring them the Krishna Katha. Okay, you miss Mangalarti, okay, you miss Darshan Arti, but you can still have Darshan right here, right now, for you, my friend. And people go, oh wow, oh yeah, I forgot. Krishna, yeah, he looks beautiful. It's very attractive. Okay, how much? It's not so difficult. You notice that moment when people go like, oh yeah, I forgot Krishna. He's there. You remember that moment? When you give them the book and they reconnect, they remember? It's a beautiful moment, right? So just to see that moment when people again, after Brahmanda Brahmite Kona, Bhagavana Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasade by Bhaktilata Beach, after so many lifetimes, 8,400,000 species, so many different endeavors, all of a sudden, because of the effort of a devotee, they get darshan. And they can see, oh yes, Krishna. What was I thinking? Yeah, I remember. Krishna is nice. You see sometimes how they're having little moments of ecstasy? You can see, right? And then, by appreciating other people's ecstasy, your own ecstasy increases. And then, they become more enthusiastic, and you become more enthusiastic. And at the end, it's Haribol! You've noticed? Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam, how it's like ever increasing? But if I'm not Krishna conscious, if I'm not really absorbed in Krishna Katha, then people will look at me and they will go like, nah. Kichu Lagbina. I don't want this, This is not really relevant for me. So, before going out, you have to look into the mirror and ask yourself, would I like to meet this person? If not, why not? It's not just about, straight tilak and... No, it's about how much am I absorbed in Krishna Katha. So that when people see you, the only thing that they should respond is, Hare Krishna. Does this happen? Huh? Sometimes, right? And even if they say, oh, Hare Krishna, or Krishna, it's okay. They're chanting Krishna's name. There will be benefit. They will be benefited. Yena tena prakarena mana Krishna nisevaya. Somehow get people to remember Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada, very mercifully, he has given us these wonderful books. Every night he stayed up, and for 2-3 hours he would translate 6 pages to give us Krishna Katha. In a time when the whole world was asleep, he was up translating Bhagavatam. And in this way, he published over 80 books that we have now available. And we can share them. They're very attractive, the highly shareable form of these books. Because how many people come here to hear Krishna Katha? Maybe a few. But the vast majority, they're busy out there doing whatever they're doing. But if we make a little extra endeavor to share this Krishna Katha with them, they will be able to appreciate it. They will be able to appreciate it. They just forgot. They just forgot. That's all. Just like this microphone. How Not much, right? You can disconnect any moment, but you can reconnect also any moment. Some people say, I had Krishna, now I've lost him. What should I do? You say, well, you reconnect. Simple as that. You plug back in. You get back into the flow of mercy. And what is that flow of mercy? Sharing Krishna consciousness, just like all of you are doing. I feel very inspired being here. This is like a big Sankirtan bus, Everybody's fired up under the leadership of Sitaram Prabhu and going out all over the area and all over the country to share Prabhupada's books. That is your only focus. I joined when I was 15 years old. I joined on a Thursday. On Sunday, 3 days later, I went into traveling bus party. Back then, there was only one program, traveling Sankirtan. Everything you learn, this is a school of life. There was no BT, VT, XYZ, there was none of that. You learn everything you need to learn on the bus. And yes, people would just say, okay, we'll pick you up 6:30 here, this corner. And then you're like, okay, now what? Krishna, I need help. How do I do this? My Sankirtan leader, Rohini Sura Prabhu, he took me to the store. He said, you need to have a watch because otherwise you'll waste everyone's time because of being late. This is Switzerland. People want to be punctual. They are punctual. So he took me to the store and he bought me my first watch. He said, you have to be punctual. And then you're out there. What do? What do you say? You have to pray. You have to pray to Krishna. Krishna, I can't do this. Please, please help me. So when you pray, you have to remember Krishna. You have to understand, I'm a jiva. I'm small. I can't do this. It's not possible. Day before yesterday morning. When did I arrive? Yesterday or day before yesterday? Yesterday. Phew, too much traveling. Got up at 2, went to the airport at 3 in Bangalore. I was in Bangalore airport just walking around. People are very, very much in ignorance. And I'm just approaching people and talking to them. And many are like, no. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is nice. Some people are rejecting me. This is nice. Why is it nice? Because sometimes we think, oh yeah, I know something. I know a few shlokas, right? I can do this. And then people say, hey, get out of my way, like, I'm not interested. But then you keep on going and you start praying, Krishna, please, I need your help. I can't do this alone. Please empower me. If I've ever been a good boy, if I've ever chanted your name, please help me. And all of a sudden people say, oh yeah, nice, very nice, wonderful. And they're taking books. So many books went out. So wherever you go, always carry books. Have you noticed? Because people see you and they go like, ISKCON, huh? Bhagavad Gita? And then you say, no Bhagavad Gita, I'm a lazy fellow, I don't carry books. And I say, what is this? ISKCON, but no Bhagavad Gita. It's like if you see a policeman, but he doesn't have a gun, he doesn't have a uniform, no, it doesn't work like that. So, you have to know how to communicate this message. And you learn this because Sankirtan is the school of life. Some of you may think, oh, I'm not so educated, I didn't go to IIT, NIT, XYZ, I'm just a simple boy. Well, I got news for you. I dropped out of 9th grade. I did not finish middle school because I got Bhagavad Gita in my international boarding school in the Swiss Alps. And I realized I had struck gold. I realized that this is it. This is what I'm going to dedicate my life to. And my only meditation was, how can I join the Sankirtan party? It took me 6 months to convince my mom to sign the release papers so I could go. I spare you the details. Some interesting things happen. So I joined on a Thursday, I went traveling on a Sunday, and I never came back for 15 years. Just traveling and distributing Prabhupada's books. Years went by, decade. Because when you're in ecstasy, just like Uddhava, time, place, space, it's all gone. You're plugged into eternity. You're connected with the Lord. There's nothing else that bothers you. The only meditation I had was that my trolley has to be empty. That's all. All these books need to go. It's my only meditation. So, you notice the difference. When you walk out of the door and you're carrying books, you're looking, where is that recipient? Where is that candidate? Where is that opportunity to share Krishna? But if you're not carrying books, what is your meditation? Oh, nice car, nice motorbike, nice dress, nice jewelry, nice this, nice that. Have you noticed how the mindset changes? So, from Asura Bhav to Achyuta Bhav, it requires that you have a mission. Now, so many people, they're asking me, Prabhuji, how can I improve my sadhana? How can I improve my study? How can I get up earlier? I have to, this and that, diet. Does Arjuna have a problem with discipline? No. Does Arjuna have a problem with diet or with exercise? No. Why? Because Arjuna has a mission. You find your mission in the vision of Prabhupada, and you won't have a problem with all these things. You won't fall asleep during the class. Why? Because if I don't hear attentively, once I'm getting out there and I'm starting to speak, I will just be moving my mouth. And people will just not be impressed. It's like shooting blanks, shooting blanks. Bang, 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 but no effect. You know that situation. But when you're actually deeply meditating on Krishna, taking shelter of the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare. Then you go out and you tell people, we are here distributing pure love of God, Krishna Prema, all over the world. And people are looking. And who is we? Well, it's not me. This is Guru Parampara. We're representing Parampara. And even though you might be not educated, you might be not so maturely qualified, but people will feel the weight. Like Dhruva. How old was Dhruva? 5 years old. But he was standing in Madhuban on one leg chanting, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And what happened? The whole world was shaking. The whole universe was choking. Everybody went to Vishnu and said, hey, problem, your boy, gotta go fix it. Huh? We can't breathe, nothing moves. So if you chant, if you perfect your mantra, people will feel the impact. Huh? Jai Shishi Gonitai Ki Jai. Shishi Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi Ki Jai. Radha Madhav Ki Jai. Hey, I feel right at home here. I got my old friend Nitai Madhav, Sita Ram. Huh? Is it you? What are you doing here? Huh? The whole Mayapur Bhav, everybody's here, right? Yeah. Sri Ram Prabhu. So, Krishna consciousness is a lot of ecstasy. There's a lot of ecstasy to be experienced. But some people think, no, I want the shortcut, right? I don't want to do the work. No bus party for me. No cold showers in the back of the bus. None of that. I just want prem. Huh? They think, I can just take a tablet or buy a t-shirt or get a secret mantra. One devotee was asking Prabhupada, I said, I want to go to Radhakund. Srila Prabhupada said, no need, there is enough monkeys there already. Huh? So, don't try to jump from here to there. Doesn't work like that. Huh? Doesn't work like that. But you have to put in the endeavor. Like Prabhupada, he was asked, why did you wait so long before you came to the West? It took Prabhupada 43 years, lifetime in preparation. Why didn't you come earlier? Prabhupada said, I had to write my books, because otherwise I would not have impact. Huh? So he spent his whole life preparing himself, working on his presentation, meditating deeply on the order of his Guru Maharaj, praying, and waiting till the right moment had arrived. And then, when he arrived on Jaladuta, the first person he saw was a Coast Guard on Boston Harbor. And 4 years later, that Coast Guard, Prabhupada looked at him, he waved, the Coast Guard waved. 4 years later, he became a devotee. Why? Because he had darshan of Prabhupada. Prabhupada was so intensely meditating on the mission of his Gurudev that simply by glancing at that person, he got ignited with the fire of Bhakti Shakti. So he took initiation. Later on he became a Swami, Chaivana Swami. Still a devotee. So if people asking you, why are you getting up early? Why are you doing this bhakti thing? Why are you doing this, doing that? You can tell them, I'm working on my glance, you know. So that simply by glancing, you can actually ignite people's Krishna consciousness. At least when you open your mouth, people should feel, wow, okay, different sound vibration, different type of energy. Tadvigyanartam sa gurumibe eva bigachet samitpani shrotriyam brahmanishtam. In former times, you have to carry firewood for the yagya. Like Gurukul boys, you have done, right? You carry wood for the yagya. And in this way, you're assisting your guru in doing yagya. Now we're supposed to do the same thing. How are you going to carry firewood? Are you carrying firewood? No? Yes? Yes, of course. The books are also made from wood. So you carry, this is a Vedic injunction. You carry the wood in the form of Prabhupada's books. And the yagya, the fire sacrifice, is Sankirtan yagya. And you're sharing this with everybody. And in this way, we're assisting Srila Prabhupada in his yagya of spreading Krishna consciousness, Krishna's glories all over the world. And the books can go to places that you and I cannot go. Many times the people who buy the books are not the people who are going to read the books. You noticed? So don't think this person, this person, this person. No, everybody. You just give them the book and the book will find its way. So, when I was on traveling bus party, we didn't have such huge buses as you have. The parties were smaller, between 2 and 5 people. And so, we would just travel regionally and live in the van, shower in nearby lakes or rivers. Later on we had vans a little better with some, shower equipment inside. We started cooking. The first vans we had were just like mini buses with nothing inside. And we just filled them up with books. And we just slept on the books. And we said, okay, Krishna, I'm sorry, but I have to take rest now. Tomorrow I will distribute you, okay? You're my best friend, okay? Sorry. Huh? What can you do? It's war! I just came from Ukraine. Bombs are dropping. Drones are going every night. People are getting drafted by force, thrown into the front lines. We're going on Harinam. Every man between 20 and 65 who doesn't have 3 kids or more will be thrown into the army. But still they're going out on Harinam. Still they're distributing books. And here, we're living in paradise. We're living in paradise. And we're thinking, oh, it's so difficult. How can I distribute books? They're doing books in Ukraine, in Russia. It's wartime. They're doing more books now than before. Even though so many devotees have left the country to evade the war, the temples are still full because new people have come. And if you want to distribute sets, it's very easy. The first day I went out, I distributed 5 books. And I thought, wow, this works, this is amazing. One lady took 3 books. We're going door to door. So my Sankirtan leader, Rohini Sudha Prabhu, he asked, so why didn't you distribute a set? I said, because I didn't have a set, which proves, that you can't distribute books that you don't have. So he said, tomorrow you go back and you show her the set. So next day, I knocked on the door and she said, yeah, I remember you. I said, yes, but yesterday I didn't have what I wanted to show you. Today I have it. Can I show you? She said, yeah. So I put all the books on the table and she said, okay, I take it. And I realized one thing, that if I follow the instructions of my authority, there is empowerment. I didn't know. She was asking me, what is this book? What is that book? I said, yoga meditation. What about that one? Yoga meditation. What about that one? Yoga meditation. I haven't read all the books. What do I know? I'd read first canto. But she became impressed. She was inspired. Krishna inspired her, and she took the set. So whenever you're invited to give class, to give a talk, just put the books there. And after a class, you ask people, okay, who would like to have a set? Who would like to sponsor a set? I got 15 sets distributed in Ukraine. 28 in Georgetown, Guyana, 21 in Philadelphia. It's possible. Yes, you can also go on the stoplights and you carry a big box. It's good for posture, for exercise, right? You're working up your physique. But don't just do all or nothing, okay? Because sometimes people may not have that capacity to take that much. So have a second option, okay? All right, you can't do this, you do this. Like Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, full surrender. Okay, you can't do that, you do that. You can't do that, you do that. You can't do that, you do that. If you can't do nothing, just pay your obeisances and cry. And the person will understand, okay, this person, okay, that's all you're going to get. So I had a godbrother, Hari Bolananda, he was from Austria. And he would only do sets or nothing. He went office to office, shop to shop, and he just showed a set. Even he went on a mall, on a parking lot, and he took 7 sets. He was hiding them in the bushes. And he was just running around showing the set. And he distributed between 4 and 7 sets every day. But that was his mission. That was his focus. So you got to have a mission. Then all the other details, they take care of themselves. You don't even have to worry about them. So right now, I see a lot of potential here. I see a lot of potential here. And we can expand this program. Formerly, India had so many bus parties. You remember? Vrindavan had bus party, Juhu had every temple had bus party. Now Mayapur are the ones who kept it up. They still have 10 buses. But for the rest, it's pretty quiet out there. It's a big country. It's a big country out there. So basically it's yours. Go for it, you know. You can expand unlimitedly. I was just talking to the devotees from Swansea and Cardiff from Wales, and there was about 20 or 30 boys in Mayapur. They were in a yatra, saw them in Govardhan too. And I told them, look, you got the whole of the UK and Scotland and Ireland. You just go, you know, you just go, do it. No one's gonna object. And rather ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. Because if you want to ask for permission, some people will say, well, why and how much percentage and this and that, and oh, we got to have a meeting and talk about this. But if you just go and distribute, afterwards, oh, okay, fine, it happened. If somebody comes and works your land and you can harvest, is that a problem? No, that's not a problem, right? So I'm very grateful to see all the efforts that you're putting in. Know that whatever you're doing right now is your foundation for your Krishna consciousness. Your foundation has to be strong. You have to have strong sadhana. Because people will come to you and they will say, okay, you're a sadhu, all right. What about if I give you 5 crores? What about, there will be followers, there will be praise, there will be opportunities. Can you resist temptation? Can you resist temptation? No? Thank you for your honesty. So, right now is training phase. We're still in training phase. Because later on, tomorrow, people will consider you their teacher, their guide, their role model. And then you go like, whoa, maybe I need to step up my game. Because a teacher is supposed to be 5 steps ahead of the student. So here we see this wonderful dialogue between Vidura and Uddhava. They're remembering Krishna and they're both exalting each other, appreciating each other's service. And the ecstasy is anandam buddhivardhanam. It's ever increasing. So you're doing the right thing, you're in the right place. Don't let your mind cheat you and say, oh, the grass is greener on the other side. There's more paneer in the sabji. In that temple. Let me go there. Does your mind ever tell you that? There is more facility. I won't have to live in a van, you know. I have my own office and my room for japa. And I can just sit at the table and people come and they ask, cash or check? Ashirvat Maharaj? No Babugiri. You know Babugiri? No, none of that. Because otherwise you get spoiled. And then no potency, no Shakti. So, we're very fortunate to be part of this wonderful mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Srila Prabhupada has done everything himself. He has written the books, he has published them, he has gone out and distributed them hand to hand. And he was open to change details. He was fixed on his mission, but he was flexible on the details. He was printing his Back to God magazine because his Guru Maharaj was doing magazines. You heard of Nadia Prakash? Daily newspaper in Bengali. There was also a weekly, there was a monthly, there was different languages. So in Nadia Prakash, the first front page, it was just politics. It was just mundane stuff. They just stole it from different newspapers and put it on the front. And then you turn the page, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. So it's a bait and switch, right? The usual strategy, right? But one friend told Prabhupada, you know, newspapers, people will throw them away. They look at it, they throw it away. But books they will keep. He could have said, hey, look, I'm the sadhu, what you got to tell me? No, he said, oh, very good idea. He continued the Back to Godhead, but he started writing books. When he came first to India, they were doing Nagar Sankirtan, and people were throwing coins at them. Prabhupada said, stop it, they think you're beggars. Go and do life membership. Show them all the books. Ask them for a substantial amount, and they will respect you. So, Prabhupada was fixed on the mission, but he was flexible on the details. Why are terrorists so dangerous? Because they know the goal. and they don't mind whichever way to achieve their goal. Like smart bombs. These books are smart bombs. They find their way, they find their target. So don't think this person is not going to read it, this person is not qualified, this person doesn't have what it takes. What do you know? What do you know? So many intelligent, educated people come here. How many stay? It's not in our control. It's Krishna's desire. Krishna Shakti Vina Nahe Tara Pravartana. It's Krishna's potency. So what I would like to see is all of you sharing your hearts by sharing Prabhupada's books in the holy name, as you're doing, and expanding and creating 108 bus parties all over India. What do you think? Is this a crazy idea? It's doable, right? Because impossible is in a fool's dictionary. Because if you have a formula that works, then you can expand it. You can go X, whatever, X 108, right? So, count your blessings. You're in the right place at the right time. And as Vishnu was telling the Prachetas, very much like your friendship and your cooperation amongst yourself. Because a chain is as strong as its weakest link. So help each other. If somebody has health issues, if somebody has personal issues, help each other out. Because team wins. It's not so much about what one individual can do. We want to know, what is the team doing? Because team wins. So be more of a team player rather than just, I want to be number one. You know, my older brother, Harinamananda, my god brother, I was young. I joined him when I was 15. All my god brothers were 10 years older than me. So I was just happy-go-lucky, you know. I didn't have to think. I asked my brother, okay, where are we going today? And he said, wrong question. It's my job to decide where we're going. It's your job to distribute books. I said, okay, yes, sir. We can do that. So I was like the little rabbit. You open the box and he starts running, okay? So I'm just waiting, jumping out of the backs of the van, and I just want to distribute my books. And all I know is 6:30, here. That's it. No worries. Samadhi, full focus. No phone calls. This was before mobile phones, before internet, before any of that. I remember when we upgraded from straw mats or from yoga mats to these, you know, padded mats. Everybody said, this is it, this is the end, this is Maya. Well, we had back issues because when you carry, you know, thousands and hundreds of thousands of books, you have to take care of your health. So you do some yoga, you do some stretches, it's okay. Don't get obsessed, but just, you know, keep going. Because it's a lifetime marathon. It's not just one marathon, 1 year, 5 years. Now I'm almost 60, and there's still a long stretch to go. So, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur was saying, first is health, then is sadhana, and then is service. Because if you don't have health, how much sadhana are you going to do? And if you don't have sadhana, how much service are you going to do? But don't develop an unhealthy obsession with healthy living. Like I was in California for 5 years, and we do Food for Life, right? Like in there's a place called Santa Cruz. It's the home of the homeless vegan, you know. So you want to give people prasadam, and they ask, is it vegan? And I'm like, are you hungry, man? You're a homeless guy, right? It's like a homeless person asks you, who cooked it, you know? Who offered it? What's the ingredients? Is it organic? So keep going. And keep sharing Krishna consciousness with yourself, with your friends, and then sharing it with the world. That becomes natural. You just distribute the overflow. And there's no limit in what Krishna can give you. Krishna can give you unlimited opportunities. I was in Dallas, Texas, and I was going store to store. And in one store, it looked like I'm in India. There's all these pictures and an altar. And there's a young gentleman. His name was Ram Tulsi. He's from Bangalore. And he went to Gurukul. So he's a Jyotish. And he's doing astrology for all the techie wallas that are there. And so I asked him, how's it going? How's life? And he said, you know, a lot of problems, people, a lot of stress, a lot of tension, all day long, nonstop. I said, yeah, because you're not educating them, you know. You're just telling them a few numbers and a few stars and maybe some ring or something, but that's not the end of it. You have to educate people. He said, how do I do that? I said, you have to give them books. He said, but I don't have any books. I said, don't worry, I got books. I can give you books. I asked him, how many books you need? He said, I need a lot of books. You know, I have a lot of people coming to me. I said, how many? He said, many. I said, well, I got my truck outside. So I brought him a whole table full of books, a couple of hundred books, you know. And then he asked, how much? And I said, look, this is like Gurukul. I give everything, you give everything. So, you know. So he opened, this is the dream of every Sankirtan devotee. He opened the drawer, he reached inside, he pulled out a stack of cash, and without counting, he just handed it to me. Almost 1 lakh rupees, like that. And so the next year, I came back, and I said, hey, Ram Tulsi, how's it going? And he said, it's going better. People are reading. Less questions, more higher frequency. It's good, it's working. But don't worry, I still have books. I said, yeah, that's okay. I brought you a gift. And I brought him Bhagavatam and CC. And he said, how much? I said, look, whatever. So he opened the drawer, pulls out the stack of cash and hands it to me. The point I'm making, do you want to know where Ram Tulsi lives? I'm not going to tell you. He already has all the books. So there is no lack of resources. People are running out there 24/7, spending crores. But the question is, am I solid? Am I deeply rooted in my sadhana, in my bhajan? Do I have shraddha? Do I have faith that yes, to follow my spiritual authority is protecting me, is engaging me, and is connecting me to Krishna? Or am I an opportunist, like these people who are working, you know, in tech? Oh yeah, I got 5,000 rupees more, let me go there. Oh, I get a little better opportunity, let me go there. Don't be an opportunist. Don't think that, oh, someone's giving me more bhakti for less surrender. Yeah, you can get diksha just at Delhi airport, you know, from the rickshawala, right? You can get it online. You can print your certificate. Have you met people who were educated in the University of YouTube? You know the University of YouTube? You click on some videos. The University of TikTok, University of Facebook. It's okay to be present in these platforms. It's okay to attract people. But if you want to educate and train people, you have to bring them. And you have to have interaction. And you have to give them seva. You have to engage them. So don't measure your success in numbers, whether it be clicks or likes or even books. Because ultimately, Krishna is the doer. It's wonderful to put out a lot of literature. Believe me, I'm living for this. Yet, if we can also spend a little time to have a follow-up system where we can cultivate people and we can connect them to the temple, and they get actually into studying the Bhagavatam, into living the Bhagavatam and sharing the Bhagavatam, you can do so much more. Guess why I'm here? Guess why? Because I've been running for 42 years now, and I'm realizing I may not have all the gas in the tank to keep going that long. So why am I talking to you? Because tomorrow I'm gone. I'm going to Tirupati. And I'm going to Mumbai and to Pune and to Delhi and to Kolkata and to Mayapur and back to South America to start the next tour. But you're going to be here. So that's why I'm talking to you. Because you're going to be here and you're going to keep it going. So I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your dedication, your sacrifice, and your surrender. And I humbly ask you, think team, be fixed on your principles, but not too rigid on the details, and create a wonderful cooperation of love and trust, so that any person you meet, their only question in their mind should be, how can I become like you? That was my question when I met the devotees. That was my question. How can I be part of your team? Because Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtan. This is the winning team. Huh? I met one man in Vrindavan. You know, distributing books to devotees is really difficult because they have all the excuses. They got all the, So I asked him, so what are you doing? He said, I'm techie wala and this and that, 80,000 people in my company. I said, well, I got 2 million people in my company, So, so if you want to work for the winning team, join the Sankirtan movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sometimes people say, I don't have time to read books. Have you heard that one before? Huh? Like I'm distributing that book that I wrote, last 4 decades of experiences and stories and, success formula. And they say, I don't even have time to read Bhagavatam. I say, I read all of Prabhupada's books once a year. Now you may wonder, how do you do that? What? You just start and you keep going and you don't stop. Because if you like something so much, you just want to do more and more and more of that. And that's it. You just cut out all the other stuff and it's just Bhagavatam and you. It's wonderful, isn't it? So, thank you for your kind attention and for your dedication. And you'll be surprised. Yes, in some time, right now this looks like a big Sankirtan van, right? With a bunch of young enthusiasts. But if there's a Gurukul coming up, if there's a community coming up, there's a farm coming up, don't get disturbed. Don't get distracted by it, okay? Stay focused on your mission. Yes, Arjuna was the best archer. He saw the eye of the bird. But he also made sure the old people were protected, that the women were protected, that the children had good schools, that the Vaishyas paid their taxes. So being focused and being a team player are not mutually exclusive. You got it? They're not mutually exclusive. So, and Krishna will empower you to the degree of your surrender. It's wonderful. You're distributing so many books. You're connecting so many living entities to Krishna. So, Srila Prabhupada, your Guru Maharaj, they're very pleased with you. And I can see it because you're vibrant. You have that Shakti. So keep going. And never think that, oh, there's somewhere else to be. There's something else to do. Don't let your mind cheat you, to get diverted from your main mission. Any questions or comments? I believe we got 3 minutes. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for the wonderful class. We already feel charged up for the entire marathon. My question was, when we see some people who have high potential, like nice bungalow, supercar or something, and they, like, we can give them 1 book, 2 books, but we know he can sponsor like 500,000 books. So what should we say to him that he feels inspired to sponsor like 500,000 books?
First of all, you appreciate the person. Because if you appreciate them, immediately, there's sambandha. They feel, yeah. And then you have to know their capacity. Right there on the signal, you ask them for 500 or 1,000 books. It may be a little more than they can immediately decide, right? So you have to know how much you want to ask them for right now. And Krishna will tell you. Krishna will tell you. Huh? So don't overshoot the target and don't cut it short. It has to be the right spot. How do you find that right spot? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And when they see that, like Srila Prabhupada, he was all loving yet completely detached. Detachment is attractive. It's one of the opulences of Krishna. Bhagavan. People like that, right? Oh, you're just, detached. You don't need anything. Huh? So, don't ask for too much. Don't ask for too little. Huh? I was just reading, Krishna and Bhima and Arjuna went to Jarasandha. And they begged from him, a fight. Huh? And he said, okay, I'll grant it. Fine, sure. So, Prabhupada, in the purport, the Acharyas, they're explaining about Shibi and about all these great personalities, Rantidev, etc. So you have to know how much to ask and how to ask. Sometimes big people, you don't have to ask them for money. You ask them for advice. Have you understood this? Shriram, with big people, if you ask them for money, they will give you advice. If you ask them for advice, they'll give you money. You get it? It's reverse psychology. Otherwise he thinks you're after my money. No, I'm not after your money. I see your potential and I appreciate your potential. If you were to want to expand this, how would you do it? A friend of mine was in the train station in Shanghai, in China. And, he got thrown in jail and people stole his books and cops were after him. One man asked him, what is this? He said, China is was such a spiritual and educated cultural place, and now everyone's so materialistic. It's just politics and money. How you want to change it? I want to put a set of these books into every university of the country. He said, let me see. So he started looking at the books. And he said, yeah, this is substantial. And he handed him one bag with 500 crore. Right there in the train station. And he sponsored 100 sets. And the devotee, he gave him pictures and testimonials of professors and librarians and students who appreciated Prabhupada's books. He showed him shipping receipts. There has to be transparency and accountability. What are you doing with the money that I'm going to give you? Is it going in your pocket, or is it ISKCON, or what is it? Huh? So when they see accountability, when they see transparency, so then the man was so impressed that he said, I'll sponsor another 100 sets for Hong Kong, another 100 sets for Taiwan. He sponsored 800 sets. He gave 4 crores just to distribute Bhagavatam, 800 sets. That's a good start, right? Before breakfast. Huh? Not bad, right? To start the marathon like that. So you meditate on that. And Krishna will give you the intelligence. Tadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Sometimes you have to invest. If it's a big person, sometimes you have to invest to build a relationship. You give them some gifts, you appreciate them, till the person asks, what can I do for you? And you say, well, how many employees do you have? 15,000. Okay, why don't you give them each a Bhagavad Gita? Why don't you give a set to all your board of directors, to all your main clients? Yeah, sure, why not? No big deal. There's no lack of resources. But people want to see, are you solid? Are you trustworthy? Huh? Are you honest? Okay? So you have to know which range you can, and you can ask for more, and then you'll see, okay, maybe a little too much, So,
And Prabhuji, second question was like, what's your favorite line when you meet people? What do you say them? Like, which works mostly? Like your favorite technique, which usually works?
My favorite technique? I'm just desperate, I'm just desperate. And I'm just like, Krishna, I can't do this without you. You're the doer. Just do the miracle. I'll be your instrument. I don't care which way, but somebody's going to get that book. And believe it or not, Krishna always finds ways. Huh? Sometimes people say no and they walk away, and then they come back and say, okay, all right, I take it. Have you seen? Yeah? I had a Christian couple. They were saying, we're Christians, this, that. And I said, thank you very much, God bless. I wish you a wonderful day. And they went away. After 5 minutes, they came back. And they said, we're sorry, we were idiots, we were rude, we were not nice. Please forgive us. I said, I'll forgive you, but you got to take the book. You want to know how Prabhupada distributed books? He said, I brought these books all the way from India for my very best friends. So what I tell people, I came all the way from Switzerland to meet all the nice people of Hyderabad. And the people go like, oh. And I say, you qualify. Oh, really? You think so? Yes, absolutely. People like to be appreciated. The power of appreciation. And then asking them is an easy thing. I ask them, not for money, I ask them, can you help? Can you help? And believe it or not, 2/3 will immediately say yes. And then I say, well, cash or UPI? Once they agree to help, then the way how they're going to help, that's a detail. But if you start with the money part, then it gets a little difficult sometimes. So make friends. I'm just making friends. I'm just here to make friends. Because I've already been on the top, on the bottom, in the middle. I've already been kicked around, I've done the roller coaster. So, are people looking for friends? They are. If you can offer people friendship, unconditional friendship, that yes, I'm your friend. I'm here for your well-being. I don't need your money, but you need to give because it's good for you. If people understand that you're detached and you're concerned at the same time and you're dedicated, that will draw out their commitment. Okay? And then whether you give them a small book or you give them a Gita or you give them a set or you give them, the sky's the limit. Prabhupada said, Krishna can give you the whole world in 18 days. He gave it to the Pandavas. But right now, if I can't even take care of my shuchi kit, and my kopin and my 2 sets of cloth, why will Krishna embarrass me and give me more than that? Krishna is very kind. He gives us as much as we can handle and engage in service. And once Krishna sees that your capacity increases, he will give you more. But always stay humble. Otherwise, punar mushtika bhava. You again become a mouse. Okay? Other questions? Is it okay to go a few minutes more? Yes. So I just make friends. I appreciate people, and I'm just straight up who I am and what am I doing. And then leave it up to Krishna. Okay, they take, they don't take. It's none of my hands.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, as you told in the class, and I also read in Prabhupada Lilamrit, that in India when devotees were doing Sankirtan, people were throwing coins. So Prabhupada told that we should not represent ourselves as beggar. And then they started life membership and everything. So in Hyderabad, we generally go to signals. And signals with us, so many beggars are there who are just one after us. So they are also approaching the carts and we also approach the carts. So many times we may represent ourselves as beggars like that. And many people come, many times devotees also, those who are in the car, they told that we are from respected families and we come to ISKCON. And so how you are representing like that? And
thank you.
And many persons like that, they tell like that. Many are there who don't tell, who feel very nice to share and do.
Sure. You can tell them, King Prataparudra, he was sweeping the street. Is he a bangi? Is he a sweeper? No, he's the king. But he's taking that role. All our acharyas, they do madhukari. They go out. Are they beggars? No. They go out to share Krishna consciousness. They got nothing to gain. They got nothing to take for people. Sukadeva Goswami, he goes not to get milk, but to share Krishna consciousness. So there's a big difference between a beggar and a bhikshu, a person who is doing it to enlighten people. So we're giving the greatest gift, Kolokera Premadana, Harinam Sankirtan, and because people are so busy that you can't meet them in the home or in the office. So where are you going to meet them? In the traffic jam. That's where you're going to meet them. And I love working the traffic jams. It's all jammed up. It's like hunting in the zoo. It's like Kumbh Mela. No one's going anywhere. So it depends on your mindset. But if you have doubts, then Krishna, He will give you a million reasons why not to do Harinam Sankirtan. Now, it's not that you can only do the signals. There's so many ways how you can distribute books. So you find out what are the best ways. Signals, there's a lot of rush, there's cars, there's pollution. So maybe not every day of the whole year, Have a little bit of variety built in so that you can also learn how to do books in different places. Is that a wild idea or is that okay? So you use your intelligence. Formerly you used to go to airports, then airports became illegal. I told them, go door to door, go to universities, talk to students. And they said, no, we got to go to the airport. I said, what if there's no more airplanes? You still going to go to the airport? Prabhupada said we have to go to the airport. Tatata kupam, this well. Yeah, well, right now the well is not having good water, so you have to go somewhere else. Where you go, that's a detail. So, and the leaders are the ones who have to see, okay, where is it happening? Where are the best places? The signals are still working, but in some countries you can't work the signals because it's illegal, because immediately they will arrest. So you have to see what you can do. But the mind has a million excuses. Even, why should I go anywhere? Krishna is in the heart. If they're sincere, they will come here. Right? One fellow was telling Prabhupada, why are you charging money for Bhagavad Gita? Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita for free. Why are you taking money? Why are you selling the religion? Have you heard that one before? Yeah? Prabhupada said, yeah, where did Krishna speak Bhagavad Gita? The man said, Kurukshetra. He was a smart guy. Prabhupada said, yes, so Kurukshetra, Delhi, 50 rupee transport charge. The man said, okay, I'll pay for transport, but I don't pay for the book. So he gave him 50 rupees. So sometimes they're into feeding people, or they're into good work, or they're into let's help others, education. All right. Either way, don't be stuck. And don't be insecure. If you know that, you should know that you're like the Prince of Saudi Arabia, you just, like Lord Nityananda, he's intoxicated. And there's so much prem, there's so much ecstasy, so much love of Godhead. He just goes out and he just distributes it wildly to anyone that he can meet. Now we're not on that level, but we can get inspired, right? So don't get bogged down by these arguments. There will always be some people who will say, what you're doing is wrong. But when people actually object, you should realize, oh, thank you for recognizing. Thank you for appreciating. Because if they ignore you, that means you're not doing much. People not paying attention. Like there was some problem in Japan, and some God brothers were criticizing and were mentioning. Prabhupada said, we have something in Japan. He's got nothing. There's always some room for improvement. There's always some room for improvement. You got to be able to extract and see how you can improve without getting discouraged or getting sidetracked. Okay? Last question. Yes, Sitaram Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you very much. It's an honor to hear you always. I just wanted to share something. In somewhere in 2000, I read Prabhupada's biography book, the small book, and that's when I decided I should join this mission. And after joining, I came across Radheshyam Prabhu. That gave me the spirit of book distribution. Then that went on for 10 years, and 2010, I heard you in Juhu for the ISKCON Leads. For the first Leads, I was the student there. So you gave a seminar on the book distribution. That changed a lot of my life journey from there as a Grihastha. I was a young Grihastha then.
So it's all my fault, huh?
No. No. I was just a young Grihastha. My son is sitting
I hope I didn't ruin your life. I hope I didn't
No, Prabhuji. My son
disturb your peace.
No, Prabhuji. My son is 15 years sitting here going for book distribution. I wanted to say in that session you made one statement which was very impactful. You said that in the world is a very, very, very uncertain place. It's a very dangerous place. Anything can happen. And we can lose our temples. We can lose our devotees. Anything can happen. But if you have books, everything will come back. Yeah. He said temples will come back and devotees will come back. Only if you have these books, everything will come back. That was a very powerful statement. That really, in fact, just after that, I came across the books in 2003 and 4, I came across these books, Nectar of Book Distribution and Essential Truth, and I was seeing your photos. I was just wondering, where are these people? Will I be able to meet them? And after a few years, I heard you. And today, hearing you here in Hyderabad, it's like always an honor, because this book distribution and the spirit of book distribution, you carry the spirit of book distribution, Prabhu. So that's an honor to hear you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sitaram Prabhu. Yeah, this spirit of preaching is what keeps you alive, because preaching is life. So, thank you again for your dedication, for your wonderful example. The world is watching, ISKCON is watching, they're getting inspired. Don't think, oh, it doesn't matter, you know. No, it does matter. Every book matters. You may think, oh, what does it matter? One book more, one book less. For this person, it may mean life or death. Last story. One devotee, he was distributing books. In the US, they have what's called drive-in movie theaters. You know, there's a big screen, and you stay in your car, and you hear the sound. And so he went, and he knocked on the window, and the person said, go away, go away, go away. So, but the devotee thought, what a sad person, you know, sitting here alone in his car, nothing going on. So he just put a little book on the windshield wiper, you know, and he walked away. The person in the car, he actually was trying to commit suicide. He thought, let me go and watch a movie, and he put the exhaust pipe into the car, and, you know, and I'll just pass out, and that's it. But after a while, he thought, you know, who was that crazy guy? What did he put there on my windshield? So he got the book, and he started reading, and then he stopped the engine, he opened the doors, and he became a devotee, you know. He was like, what was I thinking? So you don't know, but you're changing people's lives. You're changing people's destiny. And that's wonderful. That's amazing. So you have to have a mission. You have to have a spirit. Otherwise, why? People want to know why. Why are you doing this? What's your motivation? You're young. You could get a job. You could get married. You could do so many things. You could travel. Why are you doing this? Why are you standing here? You got to better have some good reasons. If you tell them, I'm a volunteer for ISKCON. I'm doing seva. Have you heard of seva? They go, oh, yeah. People still doing that? You ever get that, right? People ask, right? You say, yeah, it's still available, you know, and you can help too. How can I help? Well, here, help. I was at a concert in the US, and I went for a short break. I came back. Somebody had opened the boxes, and a young boy, he was just handing out books to everybody. He was on fire. He was just giving them, not taking donations, just giving out the books. And he was totally blissful. And I'm like, hey, there's some good enthusiasm here, but you know, you got to ask people for donations. And sometimes you meet people, they're more enthusiastic than we are. Have you noticed? They're more excited. So, Krishna is showing us that this is the lifeline. This is where the potency flows. This is where parampara is. So don't get caught up in externals, okay? In the externals of the equation. Stay focused on your mission. It's wonderful to see you have Guru Nishta. You're dedicating your life to the mission of Guru and Gauranga. Know it for a fact, there's no more direct way to spread Krishna consciousness than through the distribution of Srila Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada said that if you keep on distributing my books, I will live forever. Whenever a new book comes out, I feel like I've conquered an empire. These books are better than me because the best of me is in these books. I only have one complaint to my followers. They don't read my books enough. And these books are deities. You can worship the books. You can offer arti. You can offer bhoga. They're none different from Krishna. Krishna svarama bhagate dharma jnana dibisaha kalau nashtam drishamesha puranarko dunodita. You know the shlokas. Tadvag visarga janataga viplavo yasmin prati shlokam abadavapyapi namani anantasya shon kintaniyat shrinvanti gayanti grinanti sadava. If you're not happy the way the world's going, if you're not happy the way your life is going, if you're not happy the way ISKCON is going, take up the Sankirtan movement, take up the spirit of Bhakti Sibhushan, and you will be part of the solution. Because otherwise, you're part of the problem. Because no one is neutral. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ke, Srila Prabhupada ke, Srila Prabhupada Marathon ke,
Jai.
Traveling Sankirtan ke, Nitai Gaur Premanande. So we brought some gifts here.
Prabhuji, we just had I just walked into the Brahmachari ashram yesterday. And I came to know our bus is loaded to move out for Sankirtan.
Okay.
And
Right time, right
yes,
place.
Yes, Prabhuji, right time, right place. I just came to know yesterday the bus is loaded and the 27 devotees leaving.
Wonderful. And the only anxiety you should have is, how can we empty this bus? How can we get all these boxes, all these books out? And then we'll put the temple managers in anxiety, how we can get you more books. And if you have that anxiety, it's called Krishna anxiety, then you will be freed from all the other anxieties that are there in the universe. Haribo!
And
So-
all of you are blessed this Sankirtan. You're beginning with Prabhuji's book in your hand, from his own hands.
If this inspires you to distribute one more book, then it was worth it. It took 40 years. It's not so easy to publish with the BBT. And this is your book because it's all the stories and the realization. Any Sankirtan devotee could have written this. But most of you, you're too humble to do that. So I wrote it for you. So thank you very much. Keep going. Never stop. Never doubt. Create strong friendships. And let the Sankirtan movement increase unlimited. Anandam Buddhivardhanam Sri Krishna Sankirtan K. Srila Prabhupada K. Chancellor Book Distribution K. ISKCON Atarpur K. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda K. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Thank you very much. All goes to Srila Prabhupada, Granthrat Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Ki Jai. So I don't know how we're going to do this. Everyone's getting their free copy, so you can just line up or cash or UPI, or how are you going to do this? You tell me. I'm just a guest. I'm like the guy who found some boxes, he's just handing out free stuff. Pen. So how many boys now in total? How many boys on the bus party now in total?